Major update. The floor is leaking. Oh no! What are we gonna do?
So I've just arrived at the builder's merchant, Big Max. No, not Big Mac. BYGG Max. It's like B&Q. Anyway, I just arrived there and I was speaking to one of the staff members about this covering for our walls to prepare them for painting. And then I get a call from Naomi. Jack, our ceiling's leaking. What do I do? As you saw, our plumbing was temperamental. So even though we thought we'd isolated all the valves and taken the radiator off, for some reason, water was still coming out the pipe. So the only thing that we can think is to put the radiator back on. Now this may seem a bit dramatic, but let me tell you, this radiator is so heavy. Naomi and I barely could move it together. But somehow, Naomi was going to get this radiator on. Like those stories you hear of mothers pulling cars off babies. You can summon so much strength when something you care about is in danger.
Things get broken, and sometimes they get repaired. And in most cases, you realise that no matter what gets damaged, life rearranges itself to compensate for your loss, sometimes wonderfully.
Before we go any further, I wanted to welcome all of our new viewers and subscribers. We've seen some huge growth on our channel over the last few weeks, and we're so pleased to be able to share our journey with you all. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button because it really helps us out. Also, if you're watching this but haven't subscribed yet, why not consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you know as soon as we upload a new video. We aim to put one out every Saturday. And also, just to address some of the comments we've had, we know the footage is from a couple of months ago, but we're so busy renovating the house as well as working on jobs and businesses, it was really difficult to edit as we went. But don't worry, in a few weeks you'll be all caught up and the vlogs will be more current, so thank you for sticking with us. Having rushed to get what we needed from Big Macs, I headed home only to find Naomi calmly painting the kitchen cupboards. So I asked her how things went.
And I was thinking, well, if all goes to maybe I'll get a viral video out of it.
Since Naomi had handled the situation so brilliantly in my absence, there was nothing more to do right now. Naomi had stopped the source of the leak, cleared up the mess, and the damage to the ceiling was already done. We knew we would have to remedy that when we came to renovate the living room, but for now, we had other things to tackle.
Day 4 in the house, and we're finally painting.
So I helped Naomi finish the first coat of paint on the kitchen cupboards before we turned our attention back to the bedroom upstairs. Luckily, I was able to get something called Nyan's cover from Big Macs, which is like wallpaper, but it's designed specifically to smooth out imperfections in walls to get them ready for painting. So you apply this to the walls in pretty much the same way as wallpaper. You cut it to size, paste it up and put it on. In this instance, we were advised to use wet room glue to hold it up, so that's what we were using. And although it didn't get a perfect finish, it certainly wasn't as good as if we'd reboarded the whole room or plastered it. It certainly was a relatively quick and easy way to smooth out most of the imperfections in the wall. And really what we were going for here is getting the house to a good enough standard. We certainly weren't trying to get things perfect, we were more interested in getting things to a fine, livable standard in a quick and efficient manner, and this fit the bill. Once we'd finished applying that, the only thing left was to paint it all white. It was a long night, but we were motivated to get the bedroom finished before going to bed, so we did. The next morning, we turned our attention to the living room. The first job was to remove the ceiling board, which had been ruined by the water damage. Apologies that we didn't get much footage of this one. Things happened quite quickly, and we were just quite concerned about getting it done. It turned out the water had spread quite far across the ceiling, so repairing just a portion of it was no longer really viable. We quite quickly removed all the boards, and actually once we'd done so, we really liked the look of the exposed wood underneath. So we weighed it up and we decided we would leave it as it was for now, and then if noise or insulation became an issue in the future, it was something we could tackle. But for now, it was good enough. We then were able to turn our attention to painting the walls and painting over someone's lovely artwork. Thankfully, we didn't have to do much to prepare the walls in this room. We just slapped the paint on over the top of it. We also painted the radiators with radiator paint, or I believe in Swedish it's elementfag. Apologies for all of my poor Swedish pronunciations. We are trying to learn. So after a long day of painting and some sore arms, we were starting to feel like things were back on track. We moved the bed upstairs into our newly painted bedroom and got a good night's sleep. The next day, our primary aim was to tackle the flooring in the living room. You'll remember from the first renovation video that we'd already bought our flooring on the second day. We decided to choose laminate flooring from Big Max. It was really good value for money and we really liked the look of it. It was 89 krona per metre squared, which is about £8 per metre squared. And although we hadn't put down laminate flooring before, we had a look at some good old YouTube videos and decided that it looked fairly straightforward to do. The flooring that was currently in the living room, although old, was actually not in terrible condition and it was mostly flat. So we decided just to remove a few of the imperfections and leave it down as underlay for extra insulation. We'd already purchased some foam underlay as well, so we decided to use that also. We certainly weren't worried about having too much insulation since we were so far north. As I said, this was our first time laying laminate flooring. There was definitely somewhat of a learning curve.
Going in? Or not? Not really?
No, not really. I think you have to start at an angle.
How's that look?
So much better. Yeah, it's in.
Yeah, she needs to cut the back down.
This way, when you turn it back around, it will mean the cut bit is on the other side. Mark it there, let's say. When you cut it, you then have to put it back this way.
Yeah.
It means the lip bit will slide in.
Yeah. Okay, great. Good idea.
We only had a jigsaw to do the cuts, both horizontal and vertical, and it did take some time to get them straight.
Looks great.
So I think if we get it in at the top first and then we get it sideways, yeah?
Perfect. Seamless.
The start was particularly tricky because we had to cut a piece to fit around the doorway and the skirting. We decided to not remove the existing skirting around the whole room, but instead we were going to add quarterboard at the end just to finish it off and make it look nice.
Those are going to give it enough space. Just use the offcuts. We'll have to redo this one.
Alright, let me just cut up loads of offcuts.
We did, however, still decide to saw the bottom of the skirting by the doorways to get a nice finish in the more awkward places.
I don't know, somehow it's not fitting and I don't really know why.
The problem now we might have is with that much space here.
No, I tried it, it's okay.
And once we got the hang of it, we were flying along.
Maybe that's why I had it set to, but... Let's do time lapse instead, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, baby, put in the final piece. Is it the right size?
Oh, she's a tricky one to get in.
Is it going to be okay?
It's okay!
Yay! Oh my god.
It's okay!
How many times have we cut this?
Too many!
renovated living room that Jack and I have been working on over the last couple of days. It's really early and the house is super echoey, but I'm gonna do something that Jack really doesn't want me to do. I'm gonna make a bed into a sofa. So yeah, I think it's possible. So come along with me. Let me show you what I'm working with. I've actually dismantled the bed already because it was going to take too long to take it from upstairs, but this is the bed. My aim is to make one big, comfy, deep sofa, and then we'll have like 2 chairs. So yeah, join me. So the sides are cut. I'm going to reassemble the bed now with the smaller sides. The sides are going to be like the bench armchair. This is fun. This is real fun. Slats in is so difficult. I've definitely woken Jack up. I'm surprised he's not up right now. Listen, what you just saw was easy. What you don't know is that I've been doing this for the last 5 minutes. Okay, so I've put the mattresses on there, and as you can see, it looks a bit ridiculous. So first of all, the bed slots in like that. We can't have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove those slats, turn them upside down so that the bed sits flush with the wood. Also realised that this length is different to this length. Or height, sorry, not length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut those again, so we're not going to have any armchairs. And then I'm going to get some backing. Probably cut this in half because this is ridiculous. We can't have a back that big. So I'm going to cut that in half. And then I'm going to upholster everything. I don't know how I'm going to cut that big thing. I've been really in the zone, I forgot to update you, but I found the perfect bit of wood from our garage. We have so much wood. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it across the middle of the bed to just give it a bit of extra structure. So what I'm doing now is just measuring it up so that it's the perfect width for the bed. So I went to the garage. I wanted some screws, but there's no screws, so I got these really long nails, and I'm going to hammer in this middle piece so that it gives extra support, but I cut it a bit too short. I hope that's okay. I don't know what to do. It's okay, girl, it's okay, you got this. Wish me luck. My sofa is made! It just took a day, but I made a pretty great comfy sofa.
Something is made. Maybe I should become a carpenter.
I've always seen my career and life as a long staircase to heaven, with literally thousands of little steps to climb. Every now and again, you just know. You can feel that you are about to lift your little duck foot to the next step. It can be an opportunity that arises, a chance for you to shine. Or it could be a difficult decision, like two paths dividing in the forest. You kind of know one is short and easy, but without the scenic views and adventure. And the other is uphill, winding, and a tougher hike, but so beautiful and worth the extra effort. Whenever you're about to go to the next mini level, close your eyes and cherish lifting your foot, because life is all about recognizing our accomplishments, however small the step may be.